One thing I've heard over and over again and saw on Facebook on the different groups is it too late to plant anything? And I'm sitting here on my front porch watching the neighbor across the road plow up his field and getting ready to plant. So that pretty much answers the question, is it too late to plant corn or soybeans? No, you can still plant them. Welcome to Country Girl with Kathy Jarvis, and today we're going to talk about what you can plant in June. And there is quite a few things that you can still plant in June. You can plant your po beans and your bush green beans. You can plant those. They'll be ready in August. And you can also plant your broccoli. Broccoli is best to plant seedlings, starts that you get from the store or that you've started yourself, and they will be ready by July. Brussels sprouts, you can sow the seeds for them and they'll be ready in September. Cabbages, you can start them under cover on trays inside and plant those outside in 4 to 6 weeks, and they'll be ready in September. Carrots, you can sow the seeds. They'll be ready in around September. Celery, you can transplant seedlings out for September. Cabbages, Chinese cabbages, you can transplant them or you can actually sow them from seeds yet, and they will be ready in July. You can plant lettuce, sow the seeds. They'll be ready in August. Parsnips can also be sown in right now, and they'll be ready in October. You can also plant rocket, the seeds. You can either plant out seedlings or sow the seeds for cantaloupes right now. You can also do Swiss chard, sow the seeds. They'll be ready in July. Spring onions, you can still sow seeds, and they'll be ready in August. Strawberries, you can sow the seeds and they will be ready in next year about this time. Strawberry plants, you can transplant the seedlings now also, and they'll be ready actually they'll be ready by September if you're doing seedlings, transplanting them. Sweet corn, you can sow the seeds. They'll be ready in July. Tomatoes, you can still transplant them out. Depending upon the variety, you can still maybe even seed some of them. Like if I have a 42-day variety, you can still get by with those. Zucchinis and yellow squash and stuff, or summer squash, you can sow the seeds and they'll be ready by July. And those are some of the main ones that you can still sow out and plant out and get a harvest before the frost. The best way to figure this out is to find out when your first fall killing frost is going to be. Look at your package of seeds, find out how long it takes them to mature, and figure out how many days you have in between. Do you have that many days before the first frost? And allow yourself a couple weeks for harvest also. So take that first maturity date and add about 2 weeks to it, and that'll give you whether you have enough time to plant something. Also, you can sensation sow. That means if, let's say you have peas in and they're done almost, you can take those out and put something else in. I do this with carrots. I do this with beets. I usually get 3 things of beets. I usually do a spring and then a summer and a fall beets. So there's a lot of things that you can still plant. You just kind of gotta watch the areas. If it's a cool weather crop. Now some of the cool weather crops, broccoli, you wouldn't even think would do good, but they just don't like to go from cold to hot. So if you put them in now when it's hot, they're going to be okay most likely. Lettuce prefers shade, so you can put those on the north side of a taller plant. And just kind of experiment around and see what you can plant. A lot of the packages have a little map on the back that tells you when you can plant the best months to plant something. So go by those. You can also Google stuff, and there's a lot of things. I never saw that machine before. There's a lot of things that you can plant yet, and you can still get by with some of your herbs if you start them, especially if you're going to bring them indoors. If you put basil in the ground right now, they'll be ready in probably about September. Beets, you can still plant those. They'll be ready in September. Let's see. Carrots, you'll be, not carrots, but cauliflower, you'll be cutting it pretty close. You put those in the ground now, they're going to be ready by October. And in my zone, October, about middle October is when we get our frost. So we'll be cutting it close on those. Peppers, you can still put out some peppers transplants yet. They'll be ready in August, most likely. Cucumbers, you can still sow seeds on cucumbers. You'll be harvesting them in August, probably. So there's a lot of things that you can plant yet. So if you haven't gotten your garden started, go ahead and put something in the ground, or put them in pots. You can grow an awful lot of vegetables in pots. Grow bags, they're nice. You have to water them a lot, but they're nice. So there's no really excuse not to plant anything this time of year. We're getting right close to when you actually plant things for the fall garden. So get out there and plant away. Remember, like, share, subscribe. God bless. Dream big, follow that dream, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.